welcome back. So today's video is going to be all about Alexander I of Russia and about whether he actually faked his own death and then went and lived as a monk. So Alexander I of Russia was born on the 23rd of December 1777, and he was the son of Paul I of Russia and Sophie Dorothea. So Alexander came to the throne after his father's assassination, and during his reign the Napoleonic Wars happened. Now during the Napoleonic Wars, Alexander would often change sides. One moment he'll be on Britain's side, the next minute he'll be on France's side. Now, as Alexander's reign progressed, he became a bit paranoid, and he would think that people were often plotting against him. And because of this, one of the things he did was to get rid of all the foreign teachers from the schools. So as time went on, Alexander's mental health really deteriorated, and he became suspicious of everyone around him and became more withdrawn. So in 1825, Alexander went to the south of Russia because his wife's health was not that great, so I guess they went there to see if it could be improved. But while there, he actually caught typhus and died on the 19th of November 1825. But did Alexander really die? Some people think that he didn't, and that he actually faked his own death so he could go live as a Siberian hermit called Fyodor Kuzmich. So Fyodor was thought to have been born around 1776. There is actually no record of Fyodor's early life, and the first time we hear about him is in 1836 when he was arrested. A local blacksmith had been shocked by Fyodor's appearance. He was said to have been around 60, was tall and had lashes on his back. So the blacksmith had alerted the authorities to this man, and when they came, because Fyodor had no documentation on him, he was arrested. So after his interrogation by the authorities, the court ruled that because he didn't have any documentation on him, Fyodor was to be lashed and then sent to the Siberian city of Tomsk. So at Tomsk, Fyodor would sleep on bare boards and wear simple clothing, but the people of Tomsk did think that Fyodor's previous life was different to the one that he was living now. When asked about his previous life, Fyodor said, "Why do you usually think that my situation is worse now than it was once before? At the present time I am free, independent, and most importantly easygoing. Before, my peace and happiness depended on many conditions. It was necessary to take care of my loved ones enjoying the same happiness as I did, so that my friends would not deceive me. Now there is nothing of this except what will always remain with me, except the words of my God, except for the love of the Saviour and neighbour. Now I have no grief and disappointment, because I do not depend on anything earthly, nor on anything that is not in my power. You do not understand what happiness is in this freedom of spirit, in this unearthly joy. If you would restore me to the former position and make me again the guardian of earthly wealth, perishable and now altogether unnecessary to me, then I would be an unhappy man. The more our body is pampered and groomed, the more our spirit becomes weaker. Every luxury relaxes our body and weakens our soul." So people suspected that Fyodor was actually Alexander I. In 1837, he had actually received a visit from the future Russian Tsar Alexander II, and after his death, his grave was visited by Grand Duke Alexei and Tsar Nicholas II. So since 1866, there have actually been rumours that Tsar Alexander I's tomb was empty. It is also said that his tomb has been opened 4 times, the last one being in 1921, and each time that the tomb was opened, it was confirmed that it was empty. So the reasons why people think that Alexander I and Fyodor were the same person. Svetlana Semyonova, the president of the Russian Graphological Society, analysed both the handwriting of Alexander I and Fyodor and concluded that they were the same. Fyodor is also said to have spoken about life in St. Petersburg and that he had talked about prominent people as if they were his friends. He also knew intimate details about when France invaded Russia in 1812. In his work, Posthumous Notes of the Hermit Fyodor Kuzmich, Leo Tolstoy wrote, "After the monk's death, these rumours only spread and became stronger. Not only common people believed them, but many from the elite, including the royal family of Tsar Alexander III. The reasons for these rumours were the following. Alexander died unexpectedly. He did not suffer from any disease before. He died far away from home in a remote place. And when he was put in the coffin, many who saw him said that he changed a lot. This is why the coffin was quickly sealed. It was known that Alexander said and wrote that he wanted so much to leave his post and to stay away from this world." So it is also said that Alexander's wife had faked her death a year after Alexander had faked his, and that she had become a nun in St. Petersburg. But why would Alexander fake his own death? Some people think that he had feelings of guilt about his father's assassination and that he faked his own death so he could abdicate the throne and seek forgiveness. But maybe because his mental health wasn't that great, he could have had a complete mental health breakdown and just wanted to escape it all. Anyway, what do you think? Do you reckon Tsar Alexander I of Russia faked his own death and then lived out his life as a hermit in Siberia? Or do you think he did actually die when it is said that he did, and that this hermit is nothing to do with Alexander whatsoever? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.